Where's Chance going?
Out, honey, just out.
Well, how come they're leaving and we're staying?
What's going on? Where's Dad?
We have a little room.
Smells different.
Hello.
Better.
You noticed.
We are back with Lew Hunter. We're so happy to have you back on our show,
Thank you.
Lew.
Wonderful to be here.
We saw a little bit of Yellow Rose right before the
television
break here.
series.
And, of course, you were the supervising producer for that. You also supervised the writers on that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just one of his many things. Shall we run down a few more of his talents here? Also, writer for Fallen Angel, worked behind the scenes of shows like Little House on the Prairie, Batman, Bewitched. That's just a few.
Quincy.
Right, Lew?
Fallen Angel was the movie of the year in 1981.
Yeah, I believe that was right, 1981. Yeah, and we had the tallest chair in the world at that time was 42 share, which was today is unbelievable. Nobody gets 42 shares because they're so fragmented, you know. But that time, but it was really the high water mark of my career in terms of the fact that it got fabulous reviews, as well as it also got the ratings, and it pulled, as a reviewer said, a skeleton out of America's closet, because we were talking about pedophilia, you know, even though we didn't use that word in the promotion or even talking about it, because, you know, people even probably today thinking like, I don't quite know what pedophilia means, they don't know why. But so it was about child pornography, about a man who brought kids in as to work in the pornography industry, and then of course abused them beyond that for his own gratification. And it was a pretty I was just the CBS was scared to death to run it. And then finally one of the people in CBS said, higher up in CBS says, let's do it. And it turned out to be really, we had nothing but compliments about the thing. And today the movie is used in juvenile detention homes, because practically, and it also is used for adults too, because practically 100% of the kids that are abused, either sexually or physically, it happened to their abuser, their parents.
They use it for grooming techniques.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
It was, so the idea of teaching America that these boundaries exist, but also telling America that we are in three separate societies. We have the kids, and it's, boy, is it true today with use MySpace and YouTube, and then you have the adults, and then you have the senior citizens. They really don't interact anymore. They don't generational and multi-generational homes. So it was just a wonderful opportunity to do what I think I was read the scripture when I was young out in Los Angeles, and I was working in NBC at the time in the, I think it was the music clearance department, and and the minister had left the church, and he said, you know, I've had an alternative reason for asking you to read the scripture every Sunday morning during our Methodist church service. And he said, we're asked to entice people to accept the calling. And he said, you know something? He said, I just realized that you're the biggest pulpit in the world. You just keep on going. And boy, is it true, because, you know, 42% of the people in America watched Fallen Angel at that time, as well as so many of the other things that we've done, including Yellow Rose, which was a wonderful, wonderful thrill for us. And it was particularly a thrill for my wife, because Sam Elliott, probably including her husband, is the sexiest man alive.
Including
I love his voice. I love his voice.
And what's for dinner? Beef.
Yeah.
And he didn't want to be a television star.
Really?
He was huge in terms of the QVC ratings. And he would, 72% thought he was the best thing in the world, and then 52% thought Sybil Shepherd and David Soul, who were television stars at the time. But Sam could have been a huge star, but he got to stay home and be with Kate, which was his daughter, you know.
Oh, that's so neat.
Oh, he's really an amazing man, and we just loved him. But my wife and I, Pamela, this is Sam. Pam, this is my beloved Pamela. She goes like, and he said, and he took off his hat and he said, how do you do?
And she went loved it. It's the same way Peggy would be with Russell Crowe.
Hey!
Russell Crowe, yeah, yeah.
We're talking about Lew
But she'd
here.
keep the telephones away from the you know what I'm talking about, right? He threw a telephone at somebody back in New York.
Oh, my.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
We're going to get back on. We're going to get back on track. Now, Lew, you worked during the magic years of television. What do you think the secret was with all those things like Bewitched and Quincy and Little House on the Prairie? I mean, because people are still watching them today. What do you think the secret was?
Well, I think the secret had a great deal to do with the 60s. Most of my career was spent in the 60s and 70s, and America's innocence was destroyed during the Vietnam War. But in the 60s, when the war was going on, and President Kennedy was shot in November of 1963, that the country was losing what we thought was that golly gee whiz attitude of World War II when we were shooting the good year. But television just totally ignored that. With we had Escapist, and that was Father Knows Best, and Voyages to the Bottom of the Sea, and we had things and Bewitched.
What you were a part of.
Oh, you bet. And television just went merrily along its way, giving people escapist entertainment. And so, and today that still kind of flourishes. You're right. And Nick at Night, for instance, somebody, a young student, they did a roast of me, and one of the things they said was, Nick at Night. I'll be more polite than he was. Nick at Night owes his butt to Lew Hunter, because I was involved in some way or other with practically all those shows are on Nick at Night.
Well, we're going to talk more about those shows right after the break.
Great.
Thanks so much, Lew.
Great.